Okay, my name is Julia,
Yeah.
and I am a teacher here at MWS Camps, and I teach in the morning, or depends, but I teach.
Don't worry about the camera.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
no, it's fine, it's
okay, I teach seniors, and then I also teach juniors as well. Yeah. So I just graduated from my Master of Teaching program, and I will be a French teacher in the fall, and I've done lots of work in schools with language. So language is my specialty. It is more French, but English as well. Yeah, students from all over, lots of different backgrounds. The beginning challenge is getting them to interact because they're very comfortable speaking to the students from their own country because, well, they can speak in their home language mainly, but we're really trying to get them to speak English here. So we'll kind of seat them with different countries so that they'll be, when they have to work in partners, they have to speak English. And then the students kind of start to realize that there's so much more to learn from their friends and their peers, which is really important, and that's one of the main things we want to do. Well, I think they make those friendships inside the classroom and outside the classroom, and when they make those friendships, they have to speak English. That's the only way for them to communicate. So even if I see two students from different backgrounds, different countries speaking to each other in class, and they're not supposed to be speaking, I'm secretly a little happy because I know that they're speaking English because that's the only way. And the first day, they were way too scared to speak English in front of people. And I also think it's very interesting to hear all the different accents. And I think that's a great thing for them to listen to each other. And sometimes we talk about that, how some of the sounds that we have in English, they might not have in their country. So some of the sounds are different for some students versus the others. They do get to explore Toronto, and even interacting with people across Toronto, they're going to have to speak English if they want to buy something, if they want to ask about something, if they're at a museum, they're going to be speaking English. And a lot of these kids are really curious, really want to learn, and they maybe even want to come here and study eventually. So they're very interested in how Toronto is and how multicultural Toronto is, because that's a big thing we have here. A lot of students either have been exposed to multiculturalism and they know that's something that they want in their life, and a lot of students have not been exposed to multiculturalism, and they kind of come here and they realize that there's lots of people from various backgrounds here in Toronto, and many people where English is not their first language. So hopefully they feel comfortable. Teaching here, it's pretty fast-paced. You gotta have all your stuff ready, put everything in your bin, walk over from the office to the classroom and kind of post things around the room. Get your classroom ready because they're not our classrooms like they're the U of T classrooms. So it is a shared space. And just being prepared, having things ready. Yeah. It's a really great experience. Students are coming out from all over, and the Toronto classroom is the same classroom. You have English language learners coming into your classroom mid-year, and you have to be able to accommodate them and to use proper language so that they can understand you. And gaining experience here, I think, will really help me in my future classroom with talking to those students as well. So every Thursday we have a little meeting and we have free lunch, so that's really fun. We get to talk about how the students are doing. We get to collaborate on what activities we're doing, and I really like doing that, collaborating with other teachers, because knowing what games work for them and knowing what activities work for them can also work for your class, because sometimes you will try to plan something and the kids won't be into it. So it's important to see what's working in other classrooms.